Here to talk about that and many other things tonight is our most remarkable, unusual, outspoken commentator and analyst, Tim Rifat, live from England. Hello, Tim. Welcome back. Thanks for getting up early.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm talking about the occult this hour. I might talk about geopolitics next time if you have me on again.
Well, we got 90 minutes tonight, so we're going to carry you. We're going to carry you over an extra half an hour tonight, specifically to do some geopolitical, if you'd like. But we can certainly talk about whatever you'd wish. It's you're the guest, and we have 90 minutes tonight. So go ahead.
Oh, I see. That gives me a tad longer. It's everything that the West does is predicated upon the occult, and therefore occult ritual, the so-called black magic, as people would call it, is what decides wars and what decides what happens in the world. And we can talk about the esteemed genocidal or purported or wishful thinking genocidal killer Biden, later on in the show. But it's most important to understand that what the belief system and the awareness of the people up the top of the tree, who call themselves the Mariah Wind or the Illuminati or Olympians, is completely and utterly different than the mindset and belief system of the so-called wage slaves. And this awareness, this inner binding together of these people at the top of, not the top of the pyramid, but the eye at the top, above the pyramid, shows that they have got awareness of what's really going on, and that the people beneath them are in a pyramid, what you would call an Aztec pyramid, where you sacrifice people up the top of the pyramid, and that the so-called masses, about 1.3 billion Westerners, really have no idea of the agenda of the Illuminati, because they have no training or education in anything that really matters. Well, this goes back to the Greeks and Plato, in that we come to the idea that reality is based on something. And as a scientist, I look over all the mathematical physics which is going around in the world, which would be string theory and spinor theory, which supersymmetry, which are the main branches of what's going on in the mathematical physics community, and these are all based upon maths. Now, it's no one in the masses asked the question, why should it be that anything in the world follows maths? Well, what it seems to, yeah, and that explains it, yeah. But why should an apple falling or a ICBM being launched from an American boomer and hitting, for example, Iran? Why should the missile's flight be described accurately by maths? And the Illuminati have taken away the veil and realized that a reality is based upon awareness, and that the most defined form of awareness is mathematics, in that you've got rules and axioms, and it is the most rational way of being aware.
Well, it's supposedly the language of the universe, isn't it?
Exactly, but it shows that at the highest level, reality is actually awareness. And now we might wonder why the Jewish Satanists in Israel and all these Kabbalists have the most complex rules, which seem to have their own internal logic. Well, it's because they were producing not a reality, but something called a matrix. And a matrix would be basically looking at reality in a mirror. Now, if you can change the parameters of the mirror, then you can change actually the matrix to conform to what you want. So Kabbalah has all these immensely difficult rules, which took me about 30 years to understand, but which actually define the parameters of the matrix, which the Illuminati have been working for millennia to bring into being, which is actually conforming awareness not to mathematical physics, which is actually the real world, but to a matrix which would allow them to actually run the world as if it were a great virtual game world.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore we have at the heart of every top of the tree politician, and above them their Rothschilds, Oppenheimer, Bronfman, Master, the practice of black magic, which is clearly defined as being based on Kabbalah and follows Kabbalistic awareness and logic, which is then implemented in the world on a grand scale to produce a matrix from reality. So you can see that reality is actually turned into a virtual magician's game by the sequestration of reality by a matrix which is done by occult awareness, which is based from the Illuminati's point of view on Kabbalah. The Knights Templar who preceded these Jewish Illuminati were Christian Satanists, and their occult rituals were based on the Egyptian magic, and Kabbalah can be seen as a degenerative or a chaotic sampling of Egyptian occult belief, which of course kept their society stable and under the supreme command of the pharaoh and his high priest, the Illuminati, for about 5,000 years, which in fact is something which is amazing when you think of how violent and vicious and feral modern-day humans are. To keep a stable society for 5,000 years is, as say, a work of high magic. Now, what we've got on the world stage is the use of occult principles on nation-states in order that a small group of people, in this case, in the 21st century, they are the Jewish Rothschilds, Bronfmans, Oppenheimers, Goldsmiths, etc., in order for them to actually try and take over the world. And they're using this occult awareness to produce this matrix reality, to conform the matrix to produce the reality they want.
Well, in this case, however, we have to pause for a break here. They have technology undreamed of even 100 years ago to use, and it makes their leverage all that much more astonishing when you think about that. Be right back with Tim Rifat in just a minute. Okay, let's get right back to our conversation this week with Tim Rifat from England as we look into satanic black magic that has been around for a long, long time. It just happens now to be wielded by a certain group which has astonishing leverage over the general population because of a technology that has heretofore been unseen on the planet, at least as far as we know. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, this technology was based on what the Egyptian high priests were doing and has just been kept secret from the masses. The library in Alexandria had all the documentation about it, but that was burnt down. And of course, we come to the use of symbolism, which is wielded by the West on a massive scale. And let's go to the most germane symbol at the moment, which of course is the color green, which has been the color of the saint of the West, the most fearless brave man on the planet, according to American media, the Rothschild puppet Zionist Musavi, who, according